Hi guys, it's Cass. This is Keto with Cass. Thanks for joining me today. I am fresh off of work in my pajamas, but it's a special occasion. My mom's birthday is tomorrow, so we are going to make some keto ding dongs for her birthday. So we're going to go ahead and start with the wet ingredients. Here I have half a cup of butter, melted butter. We're going to do 4 eggs. My friend T always makes fun of the way that I crack eggs. She says, it's like, this is Sparta. The strongest survive. 3, and the last one is 4. So these are chocolatey, but you're going to want to enhance that chocolate flavor. And on keto, that can be a little difficult sometimes. So in order to do that, we are going to use some leftover coffee. If you don't have leftover coffee, you can use some instant coffee and mix it up with some water. And we're going to go ahead and do, I think it's 3/4 of a cup. Yep, 3/4 of a cup of coffee. And some vanilla. I usually just kind of eyeball it. You want about 2 tablespoons. You don't need to be perfect here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and mix that. My handy dandy whisk. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add our sweetener now. And for the cake itself, we are going to use Swerve. You can use whatever sugar replacement you want as long as it's the granular kind. And we're going to do about a half a cup of that. I don't like mine too overly sweet. But if you like your stuff sweet, you go for it. You can maybe add a 3/4 cup or even a cup. Half a cup of sweetener. Go ahead and stir that in. Add our coconut flour. We want about 3/4 of a cup. We're going to whisk that in. Now, coconut flour is super absorbent, so you might think that that's not really a lot of coconut flour, but it will do the job, I promise. See how thick it's getting? I haven't even put the cocoa powder in yet. Okay. We're going to do a little sprinkle of salt. Got my salt shaker here. Salt always enhances the sweet. Do you see how thick that got? I mean, we only put 3/4 of a cup of coconut flour, and it is thick. It absorbs really a lot of liquid. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put some cocoa powder in there. We are going to do 4 tablespoons. Garbage bowl. Okay. Here's my tablespoons. Cocoa powder. 1, 2. And we are also going to go ahead and put our baking soda in at this point. And we want about 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Where's my teaspoon? There it is. 1 and 2. We live in the high altitude, and sometimes that affects my baking. But I noticed it doesn't really affect my keto baking that much. So if you live in high altitude, you're good. Go ahead and mix that in. If it's getting too thick because of how absorbent the coconut flour is, go ahead and switch to your rubber spatula, which is what I am going to do. All incorporated. And if it's too thick, you can always add a little more coffee or a little more water. If it's too thick to work with. I mean, this is pretty good. Might loosen it just a bit. Taking the coffee, a little splash. Just eyeball it, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. See, it's nice and loose now. It's not like a tight, hard to stir. So this is about the consistency that you want. Not like a normal cake batter, but this isn't normal cake batter. This is keto. All right, once that's all incorporated, we're going to go ahead and prep our pan. So you can do this in a cake pan too and do like a ding-dong cake, but I'm actually going to do just little keto ding-dongs. I'm going to go ahead and spray these. I'm using coconut oil today, but you can use whatever you want. You can use olive oil, you can use avocado. Just make sure you spray them really well. Like this. A little extra never hurt anybody. Okay. We're going to go ahead and put this in here. I'm going to grab one more little spatula to help me out with my prepping into the pan here. I'm going to go ahead. Now, keto dough does not really rise as much as regular dough, so you don't really have to worry too much about putting it in there too high. It'll rise a little bit, but it's not going to rise a ton. Not like flour. You're going to want to preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. We're going to start with about 16 minutes, and then we'll check them with a toothpick and see where we're at. But usually about 16 to 20 minutes, depending. Again, I live in high altitude, so my baking times are going to be a little different. All right. Now, if you want, you can get your fingers wet and press it down with your fingers, but I think I'm just going to press it down with my spatula here. Get them pretty good. All right. We are going to go ahead and put those in the oven, 350 degrees, and I will show you what they look like when they are done. All right. Daddy, cutting. These bad boys out. Don't mind my dinner cooking back here. But this is what they're going to look like. I'm going to take a toothpick. If it comes out mostly clean, it's done. Now, huge important thing for keto cooking. You need to let whatever you're baking cool completely before releasing it from the pan. Almond flour and coconut flour are way more delicate than a normal flour. So I'm going to stick mine in the freezer. But yeah, they need to be completely cooled or you will have a doughy mess on your hands. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in the freezer and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the cream. Okay, so our cream, we are going to need heavy whipping cream. We are going to go with about a half a cup. Now I have it sitting, this is a metal bowl sitting inside an ice bath of another bowl. And that's to keep the cream cool so that it gets nice and fluffy. Okay, we can always add more if we need more, but I think that's going to be plenty. And your vanilla, I'm eyeballing it here, just a little splash. Maybe a tablespoon, if that. This is confectioner's sweetener. You can use any brand you like, just make sure that it's the powdered. Pro tip, if you do not have powdered, you only have granular, which is what I used earlier, you can put it in a blender or in your food processor and let it go for a minute and it will soften nicely. So I'm going to start with about 2 tablespoons and taste it and see how, because I don't like my stuff overly sweet. And actually, I think 2 tablespoons is going to be plenty. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and get your handy dandy mixer out. Mixer. No, not a mixer. Here's your mixer. You want your, you can use whisk attachment as well, but I just like the double blend. And we're going to whisk. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever made homemade whipping cream before, but it's a pain in the petunia. It takes forever. And the reason you have the ice bath is to keep it cold, because when this thing is whisking as fast as it is, it's going to create heat, and you do not want your whipped cream to get warm because then it will never thicken. So you want to get it to about this consistency, because we are going to go ahead and put this in the filling of the cupcake. So it's not a frosting, it doesn't need to be overly thick, but it's going to go in the filling. And let me actually taste the sweetness. I'm pretty sure 2 tablespoons is good. It's good. Oh, that's good. Okay. That would be really good on coffee. Okay. So in this cup, I have a piping bag. You just go ahead and put your piping bag in there. And I like to put it around the cup and fold it over because then when you are putting your whipped cream in it and then you go to lift it up, none of the cream is going to be all over your hands or fingers, all that jazz. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and funnel that into there. And then we're going to put it in the fridge until we're ready to use it. Our cupcakes are still cooling at this time. Okay, so here's our filling. I got some minions that are over here waiting for the bowl. You guys want it?
Yeah.
Come get it. Got some whisks. All right, taste it. Let me know.
Okay.
Taste it.
That's yummy.
It's gonna be good with chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell it's sugar free?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell?
Just a little bit.
Just a little?
It's very good.
It's good? You'd still eat it?
Yeah.
Okay, here, take the bowl. It's all yours. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take our filling and we are going to squish it into the bottom gently because it is whipped cream and twist it up. And we're going to put that in the fridge until we are ready to fill our cupcakes. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so I have a deep freezer, which it's like -2 degrees. So my stuff freezes and cools down really fast. This took maybe 10 minutes, if that. Sometimes I put it outside. If it's snowing, stick it outside. We flipped it over. It's on a cookie sheet just so that I can get to the bottoms of the cupcakes. This is why you let it cool, people. So what happens is keto, it's not a real sugar, so it's not going to caramelize like a real sugar, and it won't. When a sugar gets caramelized, you get kind of a crust on it. These will not have a crust, which is why they are more prone to sticking. But when you let them cool, the steam will help loosen what's going around, and then when you flop them over, you get perfect cakes. So I had my filling on ice over here. We are going to go ahead and just cut the end of it. And we're going to need to poke a hole in these for our filling in the bottom. This is a bottle brush that I have. You can use whatever's got a nice, this has like a pretty thick, round handle. So I'm just going to use that. And you're just going to want to gently poke a hole. And your cream will kind of, when you go to press it in, squeeze it in, it's going to spread. So don't worry about that. You just want an entrance point for your piping bag. These smell amazing. Here's your piping bag. Go ahead and put it in the little hole. And squeeze. Now you want to be careful. These cakes are delicate because they are made with coconut flour, not good old reliable flour. You can kind of see each cake expand with the filling. So use your hand to kind of feel when it's full. Because if you squeeze too much, it's going to explode. And your cake will separate. Cool thing is that we're going to flip these over. You're not even going to see these little holes here. Okay. Bah. Nobody knows. Don't tell my dad I licked my finger. Okay. I'm going to put these back in the freezer while we fix the glaze that goes on the top. Okay, chocolate chips. I am using Lily's. You can use whatever. I'm also using semi-sweet because I like the darker chocolate. You can use milk chocolate if you want. It's up to you. I am going to use about 2/3 of a cup of these just for the top of your ding dongs. Ding dongs in quotes. These are not real ding dongs. 2/3 of a cup. And then we are going to use about Mm, 2 tablespoons of cream. That's just going to make it like a ganache topping. We'll do a little more. 3. 3 tablespoons of cream. Let's call it 3. Melt that in the microwave. Now you're going to want to do 30-second increments because it's going to seize fast in the microwave. So we're going to do 30 seconds. Okay, after 30 seconds, give it a little stir. I think that's all we needed, really. Let's see here. Stir in the cream. The cream is going to give it a glossy texture, like a, not texture, but like a glossy top to the chocolate. It's like a ganache. Oh yeah, that looks good. Look how pretty. See how shiny it is? That's why you do the cream. And we are actually going to add a little splash of vanilla to this as well. Again, I never measure. I don't know, guys. Well, I mean, not never, but when it comes to vanilla, you just measure that shit in your heart. This is your ganache. So mine's a little thick, so I think I'm actually going to add a little coconut oil to mine. That's also going to help it harden a little bit, but not harden, but like make it harder for the top to be smeared everywhere. So I guess harden. Yeah, we're going to add just a little bit of coconut oil. So coconut oil hardens at 75 degrees, which is why it's like a hard texture. But once you warm it up a little bit, it's going to turn into liquid. And that's why it's good for desserts and toppings, because it's going to go ahead and not create a crust, but like harden like this so that when you touch it, it's not going to go everywhere like frosting would. This is also what I use in my peanut butter cups to make it more of a, a texture that you can take to go. But that also means that it melts easy because it's coconut oil. So keep it in the fridge. Or not the coconut oil, but keep your dessert in the fridge. Okay, I put about 2 tablespoons in here. I'm going to put it in the microwave. You see it? And yeah, well, it's about 15, 20 seconds. Again, it has a very low heat melting point. So it's better just to put it in for a few seconds. Give it a little stir. See how it's already becoming liquid? That's only after 15 seconds. We're going to put it in for another 15, and I think we should be good. Yeah. All right, see? Completely liquid. And we're going to go ahead and add that to our melted chocolate and cream. Just take your little spatula, push it in there. It's now getting pretty cold, so we might have to put it in the microwave for another few seconds, but we'll see. It's already loosening it up a lot. See? It's very smearable. I almost want it to be pourable instead of smearable, so I think I might put it in for 10 seconds or so. This is what happens when you don't measure things. It's never the same. Okay, I'm going to put it in for about 10 seconds and we'll see where we're at. Oh yeah, that's good. See how nice and spreadable that is? So we're going to go ahead and get our cupcakes out of the freezer. I'm going to put this on top, and then we will do the little frosting drizzle that we do on the top. Here are our ding dongs. Gonna flip them over. Oh, that one leaked through. That's what I was talking about. When you feel the expanding, you can feel that it's starting to cut through the cupcake. It's okay if it doesn't. Still tastes good. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and frost them with our ganache. You don't need a ton. I mean, it's already a chocolate cupcake. And if you aren't a huge chocolate fan, you can make the chocolate cupcake and then put vanilla frosting on it. That's fine. Just a little cream cheese, some powdered swerve, butter. You can do a buttercream, whatever you want. And these are impressive no matter what. I mean, you take these anywhere. That doesn't have to be a birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. It can be a potluck, whatever you want. Okay, pop these back in the freezer because you want the tops to harden before you put the little top on. Okay, so for the little Swirly Q, we are going to use some cream cheese. I'm going to use whipped because then I don't have to heat it up. It's like pretty pliable. We're going to use maybe 3 tablespoons or so. And we are going to mix that together with some powdered sweetener. Again, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this actually. You want, we're going to do about a tablespoon to start with. Gotta put that in there, smush it around.
Wait.
You want it kind of thick because have you ever had a real ding dong? They have got that thick little, what'd you call it?
Curly Q.
Curly Q. So we're gonna do like a little swirly curly Q. So you want it a little thick, but you also want it not too thick so that you're able to, swirl it more easily. So right now it's pretty thick. We're gonna add a little vanilla. We're gonna add a little bit of whipping cream, and we'll see where that gets us there. So I'm gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna say maybe a tablespoon. And actually, I'm going to add a little more of the whipped cream cheese as well because it's not looking like it's enough for 12.
Okay.
It's cream cheese. And I'm going to take maybe another tablespoon. That should be good. And we're going to mush it around. And again, I have a cup here lined with another piping bag. Taste it. Make sure it's sweet enough. A little more sweet. Another tablespoon. And this is how I actually usually make things. There's no measurements for how I usually cook. I just mix and then I taste it and then I mix it and then I taste it and adjust. Okay, we're gonna give it one more taste test. Good. All right, and it's still it's thick, but it's still pliable enough to where I can drizzle it on a cupcake. So we are going to go ahead and funnel this into our piping bag. That little voice you've been hearing behind the camera here, this is Ruby.
Hi.
She is our youngest. Uh-oh, Mommy's making a mess. Okay.
This is cream cheese.
Here, baby.
Thank you, Mommy.
Mm-hmm. Is it good? Okay. Get that piping bag ready. We're going to get our cupcakes out of the freezer. And we will be ready to roll. Squeeze it all into the bottom. And we are going to want a pretty small cut on this tip because it's just a little curly Q. Swirly Q. Swirly kebab. Swirly Q. Here are our Keto Ding-Dongs. Here's our Swirly Cube and Bobs. We're going to go ahead and cut the tip. All right, guys. Take your first cupcake. Can you see it? And we are going to go ahead and do a Swirly Q, as my husband's been calling them. Okay, that one was pretty bad, but let's try it again. Let's see. I'll get better. Oh, that's not bad. Oh. Well, pretty cute in my opinion. That one looks really bad. That's okay though. That'll still taste good. Alright, so they're not perfect, but they're homemade. And they're keto. And honestly, maybe an hour from start to finish, including cooling time? Let's cut one open and see what it looks like. We'll cut the ugly one open. Okay. We are going to go ahead and cut this bad boy open. Keto Ding-Dong. Alright. The filling goes all the way to the top. Alright, ready? Cheers. It's better than a ding-dong because it's real.
It's good.
Mm.
Very good.
The coffee makes the chocolate taste really good.
Mm-hmm. You can kind of taste hints of it. Hints of the coffee.
Mm-hmm. It's good. What's up, Bowie or Roscoe?
Probably Roscoe.
It's really good. It's got a little bit of a drier texture than a normal ding dong, but you know, it's not preservative filled or anything like that. So, you guys saw how easy that was. Go ahead and make them. If you do make them, go ahead and tag me so that I can share and show people that you are making my recipes. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and comment. You can like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to get notifications on any of my new recipes. We do have keto coffee cake. We've got our chicken with rainbow veggies, and we've also got keto basics. Oh, and let's see what she says. Is that good? Yeah? Thanks for watching Keto with Cass. I hope you join me next time. Have a good one.